USA 9. Two Prince George's County business owners say they are fighting for their company's survival under attack from thousands of online commentators trying to shut them down.
The couple is asking for help from the FBI, from Google, and from WUSA 9 to tell their story and clear their business's name. Garrett Hake, live in Bowie tonight. Garrett, this couple in a pretty tough fight.
Yeah, that's right. And tonight, this couple, the owner of this 25-year-old business behind me, tell me their livelihood and that of their 14 employees is now at stake under assault from an online army. On October 20th, the Google reviews started rolling in, negative, nasty, and personal, attacking the company's leadership, not its craftsmanship, with devastating effect.
So they're just passing over us right now. The emails have stopped and the phone calls have dwindled.
The target was Jenny Keller, the company's VP, married to the owner, and a YouTube activist. In February, Keller kicked a hornet's nest. She attached her real name to a letter and video she sent to the employer of the British scientist and anti-feminist YouTube provocateur Phil Mason, known as Thunderfoot to his 400,000 subscribers.
Feminism I actually see in many ways as a more serious threat than things like creationism.
She hoped his university would silence or censor him.
But part of the reason I wanted to do this video is these people can't do anything to me.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. Because people can say what they want about your company online.
Thunderfoot responded in kind, posting Keller's name and business online, and the spam review carpet bombing by his supporters began.
You have no recourse as a business owner. They just take they take these reviews at face value. It's pretty bad. It's economic cyber terrorism.
In the face of the onslaught, Keller apologized and deleted all of her social media.
So basically, I've been shut up and shut down.
So far, Keller's silence hasn't been enough to stop the attacks. Her husband hopes this might.
I don't know how to make this go away. We've apologized. This has nothing to do with my business. They're really hurting the wrong people. They want to hurt her. And
yeah. I took down my channel.
She taunted them in her video that you can't hurt me. Well, yes, they can.
And tonight, Mason didn't respond to my request for comment, but he did retweet a supporter's video mocking Keller's apology. Reporting live in Prince George's County, Garrett Hake, WUSA 9.
Could be a while before they get out from under that. Garrett, thank you. Well, this story came to us as an email. If you have a story that you think is newsworthy, you can let us know anytime. All you got to do is send your story idea to newstips@WUSA9.com, and we want to hear from you.
Greetings and salutations. This is BIGJXXX. Now, if you see the video that serves as the prologue of this video, trust and believe I will try to tell you what this is about. This is gonna serve. I'm talking about that later on in the video, but this video also served as a sequel to the video I did earlier, which is entitled SEB Black Men and Hair Weaves. Check that video out. The link is in the description box for references, and so if you want to know more why I have these beliefs. So anyway, I believe it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was May. It's May 15th. It's 4:23 a.m. May 15th today, as of this recording. But I think I was on DJ Torch's channel. His live feed on, I think it was either the 12th Friday or the 13th Saturday, and we was having a conversation, and the conversation was about black male behavior and how the passport bros, and the link of that conversation is also in the description box too if y'all really want to, and I'll put timestamps in that as well. That's if you are interested in seeing this. So while me and DJ Torch was having a back and forth, if you will, exchanging the battle of wits, and that was over the guy who was crying, the black man who was crying in his car, and I was giving him my displeasure of why I think it's sickening to have that in front of these women who are swirlers, divestors, women who are part of the BWE. And while we're having this conversation, and one of these women, or two of these women rather, says something that really intrigues me. And one of these women said, black men, you're going to lose. She said, you're going to lose because the Chinese men, the Asians, are going into Africa. And they're taking us away. I'm just paraphrasing. That's not the exact quote, but it was silly. It was so silly, even though it was paraphrased. It was so silly saying, well, Asian men are coming into Africa, and they're taking these women, so forth. Now I want y'all put a pin in that, because what she said was contradictory. And you might know who this woman is. She hangs around with a Mary Brown, and and she hangs around with Peso Man and all that. But anyway, so she sit there and said that. And then there was another woman who said something about, well, we black men are the only race of men who will do X, Y, and Z. So I proposed a question. I really proposed this question to him. I said, okay, granted, you said that. But what if I tell you, or what would happen if black men have the power that Asian men or what white men have? See, that's a question that needs to be asked, especially when you are in the company or the vicinity, or in the presence rather, of the divestors, the BWEs, these pink pill, these man haters, that these Cynthia G types. You got to start asking these types of questions. And when I asked this question, it's a philosophical question. Do you know they try to avoid that question? They try to go around that question. They try to go left of the question. They try to go right of that question. They try to go under the question, or they try to fly above that question instead of addressing that question that was proposed. Do you want black men to have the power that Asian men held? And do you want black men to hold the position and power that white men have? And I also add something else to it, but I guess that's been lost during the conversation. If my memory serves me, I said, how would y'all deal with that? Now, the second question, I think that second question is, how would you deal with it? I think that question was ignored. So I said, okay, well, wait a minute. So black men are late to the party, right? And I said, okay, yeah, you're right. And I totally agree with the women. Black men, the mentality of black men online, whether it's the Black Manosphere, whether it's the SYSBM community, whether it's all these other red pill philosophies, a lot of black men think about sex and relationships far too long. And they think of it so constantly that it becomes a joke, that nobody ain't taking them seriously. And yes, ladies, you are correct. Black men do think with the tip of their phallus rather than the head on their shoulders. I agree with you on that. But this is how, I know that y'all believe that black men are dumb, but here's the thing. Not this one is not dumb, because the thing is, when I asked that question, y'all was hemming and hawing up on DJ Torch's channel. Y'all was hemming and humming up on the panel. Some of y'all was making insults in the public chat. In the chat room, y'all making some lot of angst, talking about, well, Big J, you hate black women. Big J, you we don't support you, Big J, and you do this, that, and third. I said, okay, yeah. Okay. Now I'm looking at the chat room. But then I look in that private chat. Some of you women got so frustrated, even though y'all was being cool, calm, and collected. Y'all was making some threats in the private chat on the StreamYard private chat. Y'all make a list of threats towards the men, including myself, on the panel. And don't worry, I got those threats. I got it. Hope you know what I mean by I got it, right? Screen record. But anyway, back to the point. So I said, well, wait a minute. So if these men have power that white men have, then how come? Asian men can have. Then tell me something. I said this to this one specific individual. I said, okay, you want Asian men, you want black men to have the power that Asian men has. Okay, good. But here's the thing. Here's the thing here. Then can you explain to me why in Japan, the kingdom of Japan, where the population having an issue with the population. You see, in Japan, and we'll sit there, I'll be kind enough to put out charts, links, and facts for your viewing pleasure, where it shows that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that there are the birth rate is about to be negative in the island nation of Japan. And that there is the herbivore movement, where a lot of men are not really getting married or saying no to marriage, which is endangering. That's why y'all need to watch my video on Sandman versus me and Sandman talking about Korean women. It's happening in Japan, where women are not getting married in Japan. And there's a lot of self-deletions, suicide rates in Japan that is becoming a problem. Then I went further while some of you women was over there trying to interrupt. So I went to China. Okay. So I went to China. Now I just mentioned Korea because Korea has the same problem as Japan. But anyway, let's talk about China for a minute. Chinese have long accustomed to put more value on on boys over girls, over female babies, and which also have to an extent that has been massive abortions along with the one-child policy in China, where you have an imbalance ratio between girls and boys, men and women. There is a sexual gender imbalance where you got at least on the average, men to one woman. That's why you see a lot of Chinese men going to America. Some of these guys are going into Africa, or a little small portion going to Russia, because Russia has more women than boys. That's why they're doing interracial dating. So much to your point that these African women, these black women in Africa, are being mistreated by these Chinese men. But yet you, who's in that chat room, or should I say on that panel, overlooked all of that. So let's say if we got the power that Chinese men have, or the power that that Japanese men have. Can y'all please explain that? So how can Chinese, Korean, Japanese are any better when it comes to their women or to marriages than the black African American man? And you know what one of you women said on there? Well, let me tell you what one of you women said. Then she tried to reverse what she said a few minutes ago about, well, be like Chinese men rather. Let's go to this country. Let's go to Africa, and they're the one wifing us up. But when I said that, I said, okay, then you want us to be like Chinese and Japanese men. Well, no, because y'all live under white men. Y'all should be more concerned about the construct of the United States. You live under white men. Do not insult my intelligence. I don't care how smart you think you are. And you the one that made that death threat in that private chat. But don't worry, I screen record that. I screenshot it. I wonder if DJ Torch would I wonder if he sees that. I wonder how would he feel about that. But anyway, back to the point. Back to the point. So when I said that, you got unglued and tried to chastise me and try to go after me and talk to me as if I'm stupid. Do not insult my intelligence. I know a lot of black men online say the most stupidest things in the world. But let me help you out. I'm not from no inner city school. I'm not from no ghetto. I'm not from a place where you have crumbling education like Baltimore. You don't see the crime ridden like Chicago or LA. So I suggest you try to treat people based on their individual rather than being on a stereotype. You see, the thing with you is, and I'm addressing you. I'm going to address you and move on. But the thing is with you is, a lot of y'all got these movements, quotations. Y'all on these movements, y'all don't treat people as individuals. Y'all treat people as groups. If a man happens, that's why I don't go there and say, I'm a black man. I don't. I said, I'm a man that happens to be black. Let me repeat that to you. I'm a man that happens to be black. Why? Because y'all come with the stereotypical narrative. Y'all prejudge. If there's a black man in the room, y'all want to do this prejudging. And, y'all worse on the prejudging more than white supremacists. I find that very, very odd to me. But anyway, you was stewing on the chat and you try to act like though you were big and powerful. You're a big, powerful, angry woman. I really don't have time for you. I came for DJ Torch and only DJ Torch. So to the other individual who I got some respect for, she said, yes, black men should be more like white men. Now I kind of sympathetic to what she says because I do agree if black men like the Black Manager and the SYSBM community, if they had more guts and more statistical, I can't say the word, forgive me, y'all, some BALLS, if they had some fortitude, they might be able to solve their problems in less than 2 years. Especially these so-called guys in the manosphere, SYSBM, they could have solved their problems in 2 years. Maybe in 2 election cycles. They could sit there and formulate a political platform, a political platform, a social construct to remedy the problems that the community is in. Having said that, there is a dark side to that, and which goes back to the video that's a prologue to this. See, because that's why I mentioned, okay, you want black men to be like white men. Knowing the history on YouTube when concerning gender politics and race, the gender in the what you call it, intersectionality, the intersect between race and gender. You better not hope black men don't have the mentality that white man has, especially the manosphere, when concerning the manosphere, because the white manosphere, the general manosphere, they don't play games. If you're a critic, they shut you down. If you were a feminist, you would have been hounded off and shoved out of YouTube in less than 2 days. See, a lot of you ladies are lucky. Cynthia G is lucky. Black Woman Sphere is lucky. Those livesters, they're lucky. You should be glad that most, and I say the word, I'm saying the word again, you better think out most black men, about 85%, don't have the same mentality as his Caucasian or even his Asian counterpart, because they don't play around. Black men, in the words of Miss Elite, shout out to Miss Elite, when she says black men talks game, white men brings gifts. And maybe just maybe y'all need to stop trying to compare one group of people to another group of people and act like if we act like the same, that I'm just saying, But that's all I'm going to say on the topic. Y'all be easy. I got next video coming. Yes, I do. Big J, yes, Lord. I have another video coming. And this video that's coming up is going about your girl, Pearl, who's the white savior of the black manosphere, quote unquote. And I'm going to sit here and say, well, who does better for black men? Miss Just Pearly Things, or a woman by name of Diana Davidson, a woman who had freed a couple of black men out of jail? Check out for that video. That video is about to come on up. Like, share, subscribe. Yes. Happy Mother's Day for all you mothers. I appreciate y'all. Y'all did the right thing. Standing by your children. Raising us. And I hope next year some of these topics will die. Big J is out.